welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited for today's video. It is going to be my third update in the Partners in Cream project pan that was created by Steph and DaLin. If for some reason you guys have not, I say this in every introduction, but if for some reason you have not gone over to Steph or DaLin's channel, I highly recommend both of them. Love them both. Both of them just bring like really good energy, and like they are just such gems in this project painting community and just in this space. I have a smile on my face when I watch either one of them, so make sure you go check out Steph and DaLin as well as everyone else who is currently participating in this Partners in this Partners in Cream project. If for some reason you might be new to this project, essentially it's just liquid and creams only, no powders allowed. Working on, I believe, 4 to 6 products. I have 6 1, 2, 3, what am I saying? I have 6 products that I'm currently working on, and I have a very successful update to share with you guys today, so I'm super excited to share my progress. If you're interested, stay tuned. First, if you have yet to subscribe to my channel and you like project painting content, or you just like to chit chat about makeup, I would love if you'd consider subscribing before moving on. And other than that, let's get into my update. How are we feeling about like this whole neon situation going on, from the eyes to the lips to the shirt? You guys, I finally, so my 30th birthday is, when this video goes up, it is less than a month away. I'm actually, like, so many people say the 30s are like the best years of your life, so fingers crossed that that's the case. I totally forgot. Oh yes, I'm gonna be 30 soon, so I've been going through my closet. I've been trying to lose a couple lbs before the big 30, trying to get like super healthy, going into like a new decade of life, if you will. And I am like revamping my wardrobe, and I've had so much fun actually incorporating some color into my wardrobe. Literally before now, it was like maybe like 2 colorful shirts and the rest were like blacks, browns, whites, neutrals. Just like, you know, I've been having fun. We're gonna have a colorful 30, okay? A colorful 30 years old. If you guys would be interested in like a haul, I still have so many clothes coming to me. If you'd be interested eventually in a haul, like a fashion haul, would love to share. I love shopping like boutiques that I found online. So if you're interested, let me know. If you're not, you're not. Totally fine. That is not what this project, or that is not what this video is about. Let's get into my progress. Let's start with the most exciting. Just kidding. Why would we start with the most exciting? I'm gonna keep you on your toes. Okay, let's start with the least exciting. There's really not that much that's not exciting. So I think the least exciting would likely be my Kaja Earhart lipstick. And I will say, you guys, I've been really bad about pictures and weights, etc. But I did make sure to take pictures and the weights for this update. So going forward in my next updates, hopefully we should have more information to kind of track progress. You will see there is a little bit of a difference in the, like in my markings on this, but I do still feel like I have quite a bit of this product left. I will say though, this product does take a lot of reapplying. Like, it's not a product that lasts very long, and I've actually been using this as a cream blush as well. I feel like I'll go through a good phase where I'm using this really consistently for like a week, and then I forget about it for a while, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I should use that. So then I use it for a few more days, and then it's my update. So I just need to be better about making sure I'm really intentional with my use on this. If you can see, I mean, I've worn down some of the product, but we still have quite a bit of this left. So I will continue to work on this. I do feel like this will remain in the project for a while, but I really do want to work this out of my collection. My goal is to work a lot of lip products out of my collection this year, because my lip product, or my lip category in general with my makeup inventory, is just way too out of control. So I've been trying my darndest to really work on my lip products this year, and I've gotten some of my favorites out of my collection that I eventually will replace, but I also am working on products that I know I will not replace, to either create more space for new products to come in, or just create space for there to not be so many products. Next up, let's move on to my very sad looking Natasha Denona infrared liquid shadow. So this is one of her liquid chromiums. Right after I rolled this in, my dog got a hold of it and chewed it. However, there didn't appear to be any destruction to the actual product inside, and I sanitized like the outside exterior of it. This is what this looks like. It is a really beautiful product. But for $25, this is literally the size of the product. Not worth it, you guys. This is not worth your pennies, in my opinion. I do still think like it's a very beautiful shade, but it's just not something that I typically reach for either. So it's just not of value to me and my personal makeup preferences. This is something that I just got excited for last year, got excited for the hype of the release, bought into it, and should not have purchased it. I did give myself the goal of reaching for this, what did I say? I think 20 uses. I wanted to reach for this 20 times, and I reached for this a total of 6 times, which I'm actually really impressed with. Normally with products like this, I feel like I'm lucky to reach for it like 2 to 3 times. So I was really excited to reach for this 6 of the 20 times. And I feel like if I can just maintain using it like 5 times the next 3 months, we'll have this out of here in no time. So I do feel like this does make a really nice base if I'm going for like a neutral look, but I want to add just like a pop of something, because I have layered like a lid topper over this, and I really like the way that like a light lid topper, or what am I trying to say? Shifter shade. I've layered this and I like the way it looks, and I feel like I can make this work for work appropriate looks. So I feel like I could definitely have this out of the project in the next couple of months. I would be very curious to see in 20 uses where we're at in terms of product in here. Like if I feel like I'm getting towards the end of this, maybe I will just keep it in until I finish this off, because this was $25. So I would be really annoyed if that dried up, but that is my progress on that. Next up, I have my Daniel Sandler, what do they call this? Watercolor Gel Cheek Color. And I have mine in the shade Nectar. I did give myself a goal of reaching for this 25 times, and I have reached for this a total of 8 times the last month. This was rolled in last month, so I have reached for it a total of 8 times within this project. This is a really beautiful shade, and I've enjoyed mixing this with other cream blushes that might be like a little bit more intense. So I will layer this on top to really tone down like the more intense blush shade, and I have really enjoyed using this. I actually had this popped on my cheeks today, and then I layered it with a glowier blush too. So I've been having fun like playing around with this. This is something I would be very interested in picking up this shade again if I finish it, as well as just looking at the other shades in this line. I do feel like this lasts a really long time too. Like usually when I use this, I'll put some on the back of my hands, and then I'll either go in with a sponge to dab on my cheek, or I'll use some on my finger and then dab it on my face and then use the sponge. And if I don't wipe my hand off, there's been times where I've shown up to work and I have like still the like blush on my hand. So I feel like for a cream blush, it does have good staying power too. So I've really been enjoying using this, and I feel like again in no time, like probably within 2 updates, I could have this rolled out and be at my usage goal. I'd be very curious to see where I'm at when I reach my usage goal. Again, I don't have my weights from last time, but currently this is weighing in at 14 grams. So I will be curious to see the weight change in my next update. Okay, so that brings me to the 3 products that I have reached my goal on and we will be rolling out. During this project, I said I wanted to continue to rotate through my Colourpop Super Shock Shadow Collection, and my goal is really to just hit pan. I'm not trying to just push into the same spot in my Super Shock Shadow to hit pan, because I could honestly do that in like 2 to 3 uses. But last update, I rolled in the shade Run Wild from the Wild Child collection. Hopefully you can see that there is a pan there. I don't have the exact number of times that I use this, but I was using this as an all over lid shade quite a few times this month. It's a really, really beautiful shade. There's the shade right there. It has really beautiful like pink and almost like gold, but also silver reflex running through it. It's super pretty, and it really can just add a little something to a neutral look. So I've really enjoyed using this, but because I hit pan on this, I am gonna roll in another Super Shock Shadow that doesn't have pan in hopes that we can hit pan on that one. So to replace that Super Shock Shadow, I'm gonna be rolling in this one, which is in the shade In Harmony, and this came from the Wildflower, I can't remember, it was the like Sunflower palette. So this is what the shade looks like. It's in the shade In Harmony, if I did not mention, and this is a beautiful like yellow gold shade. There it is right there. This is not typically the type of shade that I go for a lid topper shade. So I feel like this one is going to pose a little bit more of a struggle than this one did, but I am hoping if I can use this consistently throughout the month, maybe we'll be able to roll that one out next month as well. Then I did finally finish off my Tarte Double Duty Primer. So this was a primer, it's a more moisturizing primer, and for me, I don't necessarily look for a primer that is primarily moisturizing. Like, I love if my primer is moisturizing as well as another factor. Like, usually I like if I have a moisturizing and smoothing primer, for example, the Ordinary High Adherence Silicone Primer or the First Aid Beauty Pores Beyond Primer. But if a primer's sole purpose is really just to moisturize, I just don't feel, it's just not my favorite primer preference. So I was really happy to move this out of my collection. You guys know I love primers. I have a ton of primers, so I need to get primers moved out of my collection. So I was happy to finally finish that off. And to replace that, I'm going to be replacing it with another moisturizing primer. This one is from Good Molecules. It's their silicone-free priming moisturizer, and this is another one that is pretty hydrating, but I don't notice a whole lot of extra benefits from this. It adds a little bit of tack to the skin, but nothing like earth-shattering. I definitely have other primers that I prefer over this one, so I will mark this. Let me just do that right now. This is another one very similar to the Tarte Double Duty, where it's like an airless pump, so it moves up as you go. So we are right here, and I am hoping maybe to be at like the halfway mark by the next update. Sometimes when we reach the spring summer months and I'm not needing as much moisture, in the mornings I will use this as my morning time moisturizer, and I'm good with that. I usually don't get any sort of breakouts from that, and I don't feel like my skin is like dry by any means. I feel like it does help add moisture. So that's how I typically get through my moisturizing primers, and then on top of that, usually I'll layer with like a smoothing primer in my T-zone. So that is my progress there. And then finally, I have my Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb Mini. So I have a ton of the Fenty Gloss Bomb Minis because I have purchased the holiday sets the last 2 years, and I also just wanted to rotate through my mini Gloss Bomb collection this year. So I've been working on the shade Cake Shake, and I did take the stopper out, and I know it looks like there is still quite a bit of product left. This has been sitting like this for days, and I cannot get much more of this out. Yes, I could get a spatula and really try and get the last little drops out, and I may actually do that because I do feel like I have a good amount of product at the end of this, but I will need to order a spatula from that. So perhaps I will order one today or get one today, but I am going to roll this one out. I'm going to set this aside and maybe not count it as an empty quite yet because I would like to see if I can scrape a little bit more out. But I am going to roll in this new Fenty Gloss Bomb, and this one is in the shade Taffy Tease. I've only used this one a handful of times, but I think that this one is going to be the perfect one to work on this spring. That is what the shade looks like. It looks absolutely stunning, and I'm super excited to continue to work on this. This one took me 3 full months to get through. However, I was not consistently using this one all 3 of those months. So I feel like if I can just like put this in my purse and consistently use this, I could easily finish this up in 2 months. Of course, my camera cut me off. I do feel like I could have this rolled out in like 2 more updates and hopefully be able to then roll in like my hot pink Gloss Bomb shade by like the end of June, so like the July update, and then work my way through like that hot pink one before we reach the fall months. So that is the goal. I'm very excited that I get to roll in 3 new products. I would love to know, are you guys currently working on panning any cream or liquid products, and how is it going? Are there some that are giving you more of a struggle than others? I feel like for me this year, what has been my biggest struggle? Honestly, like foundation, concealer, I feel like is going the slowest for me in terms of panning, but I also have been more inconsistent with my makeup usage, like from day to day. Like I haven't been wearing makeup as much this year as I have in years past. Work has just been crazy, and some mornings I'm like, I want the extra 20 minutes of sleep rather than doing my makeup today, and I'm okay with that. So that is my update for this update number 3 in the Partners in Cream project pan. Thank you guys so much for sticking around to watch. I love you guys so much, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye.